Greetings from Rythmia Life Advancement Center in Costa Rica. Again, this is Rythmia Life Advancement Center in Costa Rica. We're very glad to be alive today and be broadcasting today. And I have some things that are coming up and some beautiful things that we want to talk about and discuss. We're going to let traffic build for a second. The first thing I'm going to say is thank you for last week. We had a beautiful week last week. 70 people here. James Redfield from the Celestine Prophecy. Super cool week. This week we have Luke Sellers, 65 folks here for this week. And we also brought on our new rooms. And our new rooms are going to be used for this upcoming week with Graham Hancock. And with Graham Hancock, we have 95 folks, and we were oversold by 30 that we had to turn away. So listen, thank you for making Rythmia what it is, and want to talk to you today a little bit about business. And here's what's so funny: I always intend to talk about spiritual stuff, and business is spiritual stuff. But then in the week, I get so many requests to talk more things about business and more about how business, like what is spiritual business and all these different questions, and about manifestation, which is a term I no longer use. I use creation. Hi, Becky. Hi, Marina. And I want to talk about these things. So there's a big misconception in the spiritual community. I'm going to start out with this thing. And spiritual people believe that spiritual business is different than any other business. That's what they believe. And that's the first, and therefore has to be treated differently than any other business. And I have to tell you, that's the first misconception and probably the most dangerous one. To think that a spiritual business, that the principles for a spiritual business are any different than the principles for any other business is crazy. It doesn't make any sense. It's like it's holding two rocks and saying, I want gravity to treat this rock differently than this rock. It's impossible. It defies laws of physics. It defies everything. So, and what do I mean by that? And why do so many of my spiritual brothers and sisters have problems when it comes to money? I just want to talk about it. More than any other sub-community I think that I've ever seen. And the thing is because there's baked in misconceptions. And you know, the first law of the universe is order. And once those are put into their proper order, things tend to move quickly. But let's first talk about them. Spiritual business. Okay. Either you believe that I have a spirit, that I'm a spirit in a meat suit. Either you believe that or you believe something else. If you believe that I'm a spirit, then there is not a business in the world that's not a spiritual business. Okay, like prostitution, spiritual business. Cocaine manufacture, sale, and delivery, spiritual business. Having a church, spiritual business. Having a retreat center, spiritual business. Having a restaurant, spiritual business. You would have to create a business that caters to folks without a soul to have a non-spiritual business. Okay, now that's pretty interesting, right? So then what I'm saying is every single business is a spiritual business. If you're a yoga instructor, you're in a spiritual business. If you're, dare I say, a prostitute, you're in a spiritual business. There's not a difference. Now, there's a different category of business that's a conscious business. And what does that even mean? What does that mean? Let me tell you what it means. It means that I have to, operating a conscious business, that I have to pay attention to rules of the heart that I don't normally pay attention to in some other businesses. I have to pay attention to rules of the heart that I normally wouldn't pay attention to in other businesses. That's it. It doesn't mean I have to give shit away. It doesn't mean I have to do this. It doesn't mean that it means that I have to walk with my business in awareness. That's all it means. The rules are the exact same. The same things that apply to that business apply to every other business. Every single other business. if you are affecting others, you are a spiritual business. If your business deals with another, you're in a spiritual business, unless that person does not have a spirit. And that's hard to find on earth because we are all given the same thing. So if I'm an arms dealer, I'm in a spiritual business. Yes, as long as your contract is with another human and what you do affects other humans or other living beings, you're in a spiritual business. That's it. Now, conscious business, slightly different thing, but not really a different thing. It would be hard for me to be an arms dealer and say I'm in a conscious business. If my business is dealing death to a group of people or a subgroup of people or whatever. But if I am in a spiritual business, then the same things apply. The same things apply to every other business that there is. And they're just rules. They're just rules of the universe, like gravity, simple stuff. Like, it's not hard stuff. So let's talk about it a second. Before I get into that, again, I want to I'm very excited that I'm going to have Graham Hancock here this week. He's a board member, and he's just an amazing human, and I get to be by him, and that's a super important thing for me. Anyway, let's talk about this spiritual business stuff. So, in this spiritual business, in this business of being in business, a lot of people say, "Hey, Gerry, I don't know how to start. I don't know how to start." And what they do, the first thing they do is they get a business plan, and then they go and try to raise money, and they do all of these things. And then they hit a stumbling block because they can't get in, they don't raise the money or something like this, and they can't raise the money because they don't have proof of concept, and it gets all fucking tangled up. It gets all tangled up. And it's really simple stuff. So let's talk about different businesses. So if I'm I see Deb Savage is here. Hey, Deb, beautiful jeweler. If I'm a jeweler, how do I start? Well, I keep my job. I keep my job at the bank, or I keep my job at the cafeteria, or wherever the hell that I work. And I go and I make one bracelet, or one necklace, or one earring, or whatever it is. And I make one. If I'm an author, I write one page. If I'm a cook, I bake a frickin' cookie. If I'm a healer, I heal one person. If I'm a forecaster, I forecast one thing. If I'm a clothing designer, I make one pair of shorts. It all comes down to starting and doing. And then the universe, here's the great thing about how this stuff works, is that the universe rewards bravery and activity. So when I go and do something, people automatically support me. When I don't do anything, they support me in my idleness. And what is that? What is it? Something in motion tends to stay in motion. Something at rest tends to stay at rest. And the whole thing is, if you want an excuse, you have a million not to do it. But boy, once you make that first step, you'll see people start to show up. And then here's the thing. Let's talk about this. So if we're in a business, and it's a spiritual business, because every business is, and we want to succeed, then the first thing we have to be is sure. First thing is I have to be sure. Sure of what I'm doing. And then I have to do something. And so if I'm sure of what I'm doing, and I do something, then all of a sudden things conspire to help me. And here's where people get a little fluffy on this. They believe that it's either all the universe, and as in manifestation, or it's all them. And the fact of it is, it's a partnership. When you start to move with definitiveness, with directness, with confidence, then the universe responds, just like the water responds to the prayer. If you ever see the work where you pray on water, or you pray on rice, and you watch what happens, the water responds to the prayer. The universe responds to your vibration. Same exact way. So all of a sudden, you're definitively going in a direction. The thing is, here's the 80-20 rule. 80% of the people want to follow. Fact, they're born followers. 80% of the people. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Just take a look at an ant farm. Take a look at a beehive. This is going on everywhere in the universe. We're all playing our part. So people want to be led to something that is good. So when you're excited about something, you're definite about something, you're unwavering in your pursuit of something, guess what starts happening? Pieces start clicking into place because the universe is responding to you. Just like it does when you're negative, just like it does when you can't put it together, the universe is constantly your mirror, constantly mirroring you, constantly clicking in and making what you think a reality. More than that, I'll tell you this. People all day try to force themselves to think a particular way, and it doesn't work. I didn't mean to say that. But what you know, the universe is out there mirroring you to make what you know a reality. So I have to tell you this, I was never a smart kid. I got kicked out of schools and shit like that, but I was always doing okay financially, yeah? You know why? Because I fucking knew I would. Because I knew I would. I knew I would. And the thing is, there's a lot of times nobody believed I would, but I knew I would. I knew I would. I knew I would. And the more you know you are, the more that you know that you're definite about what you're doing, and that you have clarity and singularity and universal messaging and all of this within yourself, and you start believing it, then all of the people around you start believing it. Hi, beautiful Brandy. All the people around you start believing it and hop on your bandwagon and help you. They help you. It's how people get rich. This is how stuff works. So if you think you can do it some other way, last week I gave a great definition. I have to tell you, it's a great definition. What is hell? Hell is wanting something I'm not willing to work for. Boom. That's it. I want something that I'm not willing to work for. I want something I'm not willing to change for. I want something that I'm not willing to go the distance for. I want something that I'm not that I can be talked out of. Boom. So listen to this. I don't care what your professor says. I don't care what your mother says. I don't care what your lover says. It doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter to the universe. None of that matters. What the universe responds to is what you know. Not what your mom said, not what your dad said, not what your lover said. It responds to what you know. So listen to this. So let's say this happens. I'm unsure of this. I'm unsure if I can become a healer who's successful enough to support himself. Then I have a decision. Because basically that means I'm unsure, and if I'm unsure, I'm going to quit. So that's a hell. So now I have a thing that I want something I'm not willing to go the distance for. So now I have a choice. Either I make the choice to go the distance, to believe it, to sacrifice all things, or I quit. And by quit, I don't mean I quit and I hang myself and I do, but I give up on that idea. Because if I keep that idea and I'm unsure or unwilling to work for it, then I'm just fucking sad. And the idea isn't to hang around in this planet being sad. The idea is to hang around on this planet and to try to make a change, and to make a change within yourself and keep it rolling and do all these things. Not to be sitting there in purgatory. And a lot of us are in purgatory. A lot of us say, oh my God, I want this. But this and this and this and this and this, and they talk themselves out of it, and now they still want it, but they don't want to do it. Terrible. That's terrible. I want to ask that guy out, but I'm afraid to. He's going to say no. Then that is in itself a hell. That is a hell of a hell of a hell. And I don't want you to be in hell, right? I don't want, and the opposite of that happens when you say yes to it. So here's the thing. I want to have let's just go to money a second. I want to have an income of $25,000 a month. You name it, 50. I don't know what you need. So I want to have an income of $50,000 a month. Once I start knowing that I know I can, and then I start putting my plan into action, guess what happens? Shit gets fun. It goes from not being fun to being fun. And here's the crazy thing. Once you start winning little tiny wars in this, because or little tiny battles. Once you start winning these battles, you start getting confidence. You start getting confidence, you send a stronger signal to the universe that you're there and that it's happening. And then the universe sends you back something, success. And now that's affirmation. And the next thing you know, at one time, back in the days of blood sports, they used to train fighting dogs. You know how they would train them? They would never let the dog lose, no matter what it was up against. No matter what it was up against, a burglar, a this, a that, protection dog, they would never let it lose. And then what happened when a real burglar came? The dog had no doubt that the dog was going to win. And this is how we train ourselves, by little tiny victories, little victories, and knowing that we're in it. And this is the thing. I give you my word, that anything you want, we're going to get to a crazy part. Anything you want is yours. Anything you want is yours. And then I'm going to ask you to be really careful of what you pick. But anything you want can be yours as long as you can't be talked out of it. It's yours, but if I can talk you out of it, it's not yours. If your mother can talk you out of it, it's not yours. If your uncle can talk you out of it, it's not yours. So anything that you want is yours. What a beautiful world and what a universe. To live in something that acts like that for me. The least of which, I was a terrible, terrible, terrible guy, and guess what? The universe didn't punish me for it. It didn't. Because its laws aren't about good and bad. Its laws are about definiteness of purpose and things like that. That's what its laws respond to, yeah? So the fact that I'm now in a conscious business and I'm a different guy, I'm a different human, right? I'm using the same rules and it works just as well, every bit as well. So the thing is, it's your oyster. You can do whatever you want with it. And if you think that somebody else has their hand in your pocket, you're crazy. You're your own artist. You're writing your own script. It's your movie, or it's your play, or it's your miniseries. It is you. You're writing it. So I'm just going to leave you with that, and know that start small. Start with one thing: one bracelet, one necklace, one dress, one pizza, one vegan dish, one bake sale, one of something. There is no excuse. There's not. Write one page of your book. Write one page. See how contagious it is, right? See how contagious. Write one page. Do one thing. And if you tell me, oh, Gerry, I have to give up my job to do it, then you're telling the wrong things, because you don't. There's nothing. There's no project. There is no project that's so big that it can't be broken down to a first step. Oh, I want to build the Empire State Building. Okay, stick a shovel in the ground. One shovel. This is how things get done. So look you're writing your own deal. You're saying your own thing. You're the star of your own play, your own show, your own movie. Get in there and do it. I love talking about this stuff because it's true. As a kid, I had nothing, no thing, not one thing. And I've been wealthy and I've been broke. And I've been wealthy in a different form of wealthy, a real strong form of wealthy, yeah? And the thing is, I've been broke and I've been rich, and rich is actually better. It's better. Now I screwed it up to beat the band, but being awake and having enough abundance is a really great place to be in. It's a good zone to be in. Being awake and having abundance. Not crazy. Just being awake is beautiful. Shit happens here. Yes? So do that. So I just want to talk another couple things. If you guys, hey Henry, how you doing, dude? Yeah. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Stacy. Hi, David. Hi, Doreen. Hi, Mike. Hi, Charlie. Hi, Jordan. Guys, I love that you're hearing that we're doing this thing. And the thing that I want you to, this is for this week. Next week, I'm going to talk about spiritual stuff again, about putting this together. But for right now, do me a favor this week. Don't let anybody talk you out of what you're doing. Don't let anybody, hear me good, dude. Don't let anybody talk you out of what you're doing, because what you're doing is big. It might look like I'm starting with one word, but it's big, it's bigger. And here's the thing, it's going to take longer than you think, and it's going to be bigger than you think. And those are two absolute facts. So please don't get talked out of anything this week. Anything. Stay with it. Stay with it. Keep on it. This is a statistic that I find interesting. How they got to it, I don't know, but I believe it. That 88% of the people are one more time away from winning, and they quit. They quit. So that's like the 90-10 rule, almost to a point. That 88% of the people are one more try away from winning, and they quit. They quit. They quit, and they change tables. And that's the craziest thing. It's the exact how not to do it. And now here's another interesting thing. The big business people and the business people rely on those people to quit right when they shouldn't. That makes, because I tell you what, the further we go up the pyramid, the less folks playing ball, right? Because everybody else quits. So who stays? The winners. I hate saying it. It's the truth. The winners. And the difference between a winner and a loser is one more time. One more no. One more shot. One more everything. So please, man, please, you're writing your own play. The world doesn't need another excuse as to why you quit at the 88th percentile. It doesn't need it. It needs you to tell it why you stayed. And I'll give you the best reason to stay. Because it's fun. So keep doing it. Stay in it and make it happen. Turn the wheel. I want to talk about something for 1 second. Our friend, she's practically a mother, Jen Butler, is coming here. That's April 28th to May 5th. And it's amazing stuff. And I want to tell you something. She has this amazing gift for putting colors together in people, and then having those colors that she orchestrates for these people change their lives and makes them accepted by other people in a different way, vibrate a different way, and it's not bullshit. It really, really, really works. So listen, if you want to come here on a less busy week, we have our new rooms open. We have 95 people this week for Graham Hancock. But if you want to come here in a week that's less busy, book the Jen Butler week. And I don't care if, as a matter of fact, and people are going to say no, but it's as much for men as it is for women. I spent, I don't know, $5,000 or something to have her come and do my clothes. Like, just to have her tell me my colors. And the thing is, I'm not a trendy guy, but boy, she nailed it with what works with me, and she's going to nail it in what works with you. Come here and have her participate in this thing. It's fantastic. So next week we're going to get back to spiritual stuff, unless you bombard me with business stuff this week. But here's the thing I want to tell you. Just don't quit this week. Don't let your mom talk you out of it. Don't let anybody talk you out of it. And this is the kind of thing that when you make a decision from your heart that you're going to stick with it, you immediately vibrate in a different way. This is, do you ever see two people in a relationship and both of them are kind of, well, if it works out with him, I'll stay in it. And if it doesn't, I won't. And if it works out with her, they're giving each other that message and the whole thing's blown up all the time. The message of definiteness, the message of purpose, the message of I'm not going to give up until I win. That is the message we want to send the universe. So do me a favor and send it this week. Send the world that message and watch how it responds, because it responds immediately. Immediately. Okay? All right, guys, listen, have a wonderful week. Peace and blessings, and have just a great week. May God hold you and help you and be with you this week. And I can't wait to see you at Rythmia. We're changing lives like crazy here. We're changing lives. We gotta get to see you. So if you're thinking about coming, do me a favor. Talk to one of us at the thing. Dial 866-936-9446. So that's 1-866-936-9446, and talk to us and get your butt here. It's going to make a difference. Hey, Chris, I see you there. Glad to see all you guys. Hey, Russ. Hey, Chris. Can't wait for you guys to come down here and to see us again. Love you and have a beautiful, beautiful week. God bless you guys.